Hello.
Hello, hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Excellent. That makes me very happy. Thank you for joining. And
Thank you.
is it too late to say Happy New Year? I'm never sure.
It's never too late.
Never too late. Fair enough. So in that case, Happy New Year to you and everyone.
Same to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah, cool. It's going to be an interesting chat because usually it's all, we talk about very unplanned stuff, but we have for a lot of it, we have a specific topic, which is quite cool. But before we get into all that, would you like to maybe introduce yourself so the people at home know who you are?
My name is Jesper Christoffersen. I've been working with IT the last nearly 25 years now, and I really early on started working as a ERP consultant, but kind of took interest in the report part. And I think since 2005, I've been working with the Microsoft suite, and that's warehouse and Excel, SharePoint, whatever, Crystal report. I've even been working a little bit with SAP for a shorter period. And the last 5 years, it has solely been Power BI and everything around Power BI, still data warehousing in my own company. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's always been around data and data presenting and moving data. And I've been living at the Faroes Islands in the last 15 years. So I'm from Denmark originally, but I've been up here too long. But it's kind of cool. So
It's very cool.
I have my own company up here. Yeah. But I've been attending whatever I can around Denmark and England, conference, bits and Next Step and Power BI Cruise and whatever we can do.
Okay, nice. I've got to ask, I'm curious, what inspired the move to Faroe in the first place? If it's okay to ask that.
Yeah, of course. My girlfriend was from up here, and we got our first kid, and we said she need to just experience her side of family, her whatever cousins and stuff like that. So we said we move up here for 1 year, just try 1 year, and that's 1 year to plus 1 year plus 1 year, and suddenly you kids starting in school, and you buy a house, and then you pretty much start.
Yeah, pretty much it's done. It's like
until the kids are old enough to start reading or have education somewhere else. But
cool.
Pretty much.
I'm really interested because I mean it's a place where I've always Faroe, Shetland. I like cold, windy places and snow basically.
Definitely.
So what was it like, that move? Was it like the difference between? I'm not sure where you're from originally. You said Denmark. I'm not sure where, but
Jutland. The people up here are really nice. It's easy to move up here, also because they talk Danish and understand Danish. But the nature is so much different. When we have a storm, I live in West Jutland, which can be stormy, but it's nothing compared to up here. I live in one of the most beautiful places, but that also means that I have heavy wind, like 55 to 65 meters per second. And when you have weather like that, you stay indoor, high in the basement, because it's really rough. There's nothing outside. Everything you have outside is either gone or tied up or destroyed. I think 3 times now I have gone out to my car after a storm, and one of the sides is just messed up with flying stones and other stuff.
I never think about that sort of things.
So it's really rough. But on the other hand, when the sun is shining and the blue skies are nothing more beautiful. I love, like in May, June, sitting outside 6 o'clock in the morning and enjoy a cup of coffee, the silence, and just the beautiful sunshine and everything. So it's kind of binary. It's on off. It's really damn good or damn awful.
Okay, fair enough. So,
like saying if you come up here, except maybe August, you have to bring winter clothes and maybe even shorts, because it can be both. It can. Yeah.
It's interesting also because obviously you have as you said yourself, 20 years. You said you were working with data and different technologies and stuff. You could, I guess, more so whenever 15 years ago you said you moved there, less so now, but 15 years ago to move to quite a remote location when you're working with data, it could have been seen to be a challenge in your career, right?
It definitely was. Starting being a coder instead, because what I used this warehouse. What is a data warehouse? Why are you doing it? We code stuff. So actually, I think after 5 year career, I went. I started a company with one of my friends, now friends, and started selling that warehouse up here. I was like totally unknown, but we got 2 good clients with carry us on, and starting up with some pretty big solution, but it was unknown. And like with Power BI, we have used Power BI for the last 5 years, I think, to have some report from 5 years ago or something like that, 6 years ago nearly, and nobody have up using. I was presenting them in Denmark for Danish clients and stuff like that, but after now they're really moving up. There are 2, 3, 4 years behind. We're not talking Fabric up here. We're talking about just about Power BI.
Yeah, okay.
So we're a little bit behind. But the good thing up here, everything's so small, so you can actually make some pretty good solution, even on the standard Power BI for some of the customers, because there's only might be 5, 10, 50 employees in a company. So for that point of view,
that's quite cool.
View is moving quite a lot. Yeah. But it was difficult. I was a coder for 5 years or so, but did a little reporting in SSRS, but no full-blown solution. Crystal report also. So
fair enough. So
I missed that part. I must say that. So
fair enough. So interesting.
They're pretty good. Yeah.
I could sit here and ask you questions all day. Actually, I remember I've probably said this before on one of my live streams. When we first met, which was in Billund, 2 years, I can't remember. There was actually a couple of guys. I was sitting on a table in the hall, and there was a couple of other guys from Faroe there as well.
Yeah.
And I vividly remember having a conversation with my wife, and she was like, "Oh, how's it going?" And I was like, "Yeah, having a great time. It's a good conference, playing with some Lego, chatting to some guys from Faro." And she stopped and she was like, "From Faro?" And I was like, "Yeah, from Faro." And oh, she's from Italy, and she's curious about the north and the stuff. And she was like, "From Faro." I was like, "Yes." She's like, "What did they look like?" And I was like, "They look like people." I was like, "What?" It was like, they're not.
Yes, we live in caves. We don't have internet. Something like that. Yeah, true.
It was like, I don't know what answer you expected from me there. It's like, they just look like regular people. It was, but it's because my wife doesn't like, cold or wind or rain, or she treats it like some kind of like a curiosity,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's.
But you live in Berlin.
I live in
Don't you?
Berlin. Incredible wife, yeah.
Yeah. At the moment, I think there's about 4,000 people down there from up here.
Okay, fair enough, huh?
Because they are in the handball European Championship. They played the first match today.
No way.
Yeah, I think I don't know how many flights have been flying, but I think about 4,000 people out of 55,000 people up here
Wow.
are in Berlin at the moment. So there's nearly 10% of the country. So you should maybe have a chance to see some more the next couple of days.
I should tell her go to Berlin so she can have a look and see what's going on.
See, those people over there look like cavemen.
Yeah, exactly.
From up there.
Caveman. I should reiterate, she didn't mean it in a bad way. She was just curious about, what people, help me. I have no idea, but she meant it in a very positive way. She was just curious. I'll just bring it. Donald says he missed his program also, and ChatGPT is not going to help. ChatGPT. Yes.
It's pretty good. I've been using quite a lot for creating images and stuff like that. When I'm too lazy for it. So I think it's good for something.
My thing with ChatGPT at the moment is that it's the use of the word is it delighted or something? It drives me crazy. This word that everyone uses on LinkedIn all the time. I am delighted to share this or whatever. I typed this into ChatGPT the other day just to get a rough outline, and I said maybe a LinkedIn post that does this, this, and this. And it literally started off as, "I am delighted to." I was like, what do you... You got such a limited vocabulary, man.
I'm Brit. Don't use that word.
Bizarre.
I think it can be a good helper and do some amazing stuff, and especially as a tool. But I'm liking it. But I can see when I create images, it's kind of the same unless you ask for it. But I saw a dude on Reddit who actually had made like a 2 or 3 pages cartoon with it, or anime. That was kind of cool with drawing bits. But he said like you have to define things quite well to get it to make
From the image perspective, what frustrates me is that when you create an image and then you need to change a small part of that image, like no, it's going to recreate completely new, and it's too far from the original thing. It's very frustrating. So yes,
I actually think a Microsoft designer is pretty good at that, and I love when they did like a LinkedIn post where you could do your own Lego set.
Yes,
that was quite amazing.
Good, yeah.
Oh damn it, it was really good. So I sent it to my brother who worked at Lego. So make me that.
Your brother works at Lego? That's awesome. That's really interesting.
Yeah, you should see the house. I think like 20% of the house is just Lego boxes.
So I mean, really, you working with data and Power BI, and your brother working with Lego. That's kind of like a nerdy combination that really is pretty impressive. I like it a lot.
Yeah, and he also work a little bit in Power BI in his department, and he uses it. So no, it is true.
Very cool.
We are nerds. That's how
I like living in the era where nerd isn't an insult anymore. It's just a fact. It's like, yeah, I'm a nerd. Get over it.
I think my title was on my previous business card was BI nerd.
Nice.
Yeah. Self-employed. I cannot be a CEO, but I should be director or manager or whatever. I do BI. That's what I do. If you understand what it is. And should
we start talking about a little bit of what you have planned? Because I'm excited. I want to talk about. I'm trying to be restrained and be all casual like about it, but I'm very excited.
No, me also get some feedback, because I had this stupid idea and now it's suddenly gone live, and so are people attending? Who is coming? Why is it good enough? Have I fucked up, or whatever.
What is it? It would be a good start.
Yeah. Living in caves, having education on a clock, something like that. Yeah. Bring your own wine and beer and internet.
Exactly.
So
well, I'm going to drop the link in the chat, and then you can start telling the people what it is. Is that okay? The link to the website.
Problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what are you planning up on Faro, mate? What's going on?
Oh, yeah. I've been attending the conference for many times, and I love it. I really love it. I really love going to meet the people and having fun and talk. And over the years, you kind of have seen everything mostly, so you use more time on the network. But there's always been like, okay, I live at the Faroes. I want to present that to other people, and I also think like there was something missing in the conference. There was maybe 1 or 2 sessions about the design part of Power BI. I know from our work is only like maybe 10 or 20% of a project, because data is bloody well important. It is the model and data that makes everything work. But the main problem is that whatever is selling it is design. So I just want to have like a conference about the design. And I had a lot of thoughts. Should we do mock-ups for 2 days? And should we do this and that? So that was kind of the dream about it. I will not have a conference. I think it will be the first conference in a year what did not be mentioned Fabric. That and Marco Nabalto will be not presenting anything. So that's kind of strange, because I think you see it. Also, the people that over the last 5 years, pre-corona or after corona, the attendee has also changed from being, in the old days, it was our data guys, the people who know everything about data, to now it's a more mixed up. And the design part, there's some just sitting with the design part. So I think it's important just to talk about that, and also meet with equal people. That's I know DAX. Okay, I can copy paste from a website, or I can do that. But I get that if I got the model, I just want to make it look good. How do I make it look good? How do I change this and stuff like that? And you see it. Yeah, there should be like a motto. We wanted the Excel. That's basically what we have to avoid. How can we do this design thingy so we avoid those CFOs who want to Excel? How can we do it? Have you some experience? Have you? And talk about that. So basically having like a forum and a conference about making everything good. It could be, I'm planning on doing a session sometime by coloring, talk 1 hour about coloring, or should it be like the psychology behind a report? How should it work? How should it build up? How should you do stuff like that? Or should you just, and like saying, I don't know if you know the logo, but it's actually a pie chart and a bar chart.
I just noticed that. It's true. It is.
Should we bring back the pie chart? Class. I know people hate them, but they have some usage and stuff like that. So when and where, and share the knowledge we have.
Very cool.
So
good point. Actually, well, I can share the screen in a second. If people haven't already seen the logo, but it's very cool. I'm really looking forward to it. Like I say, I've always wanted to visit the Faro, and most likely in the coming months I will, which I'm very excited about. Yes, it is indeed. Actually, that's a good point. In case I'll share my screen now to show where Faro is, in case people are just wondering. Maybe some people don't know. This is very, very reasonable, and I think hopefully I'm going to share the correct. I'm not very good at screen sharing. I don't do it very often here, but basically, hope you can see.
I actually got a funny story about that, because I think it's like 20 years ago when I met my girlfriend, 23 years ago, I went into BBC homepage, and I tried to search for the Faroes, and they placed it under Africa.
Really?
On there was like select your country.
Let me check.
And like,
let me check.
So I was like saying, okay, Faroes, Northland, no, Africa. Okay, so at that point, people had mentioned that, but as like I had never been up before I met my girlfriend. So
Brilliant.
True.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
but
at that point,
this is where, in case people don't know, and I know some people will listen to this later with no pictures, so I'll describe it. Basically, it's between Norway and Iceland, sitting on top of the UK, kind of. It's right there, little island, and it is very cool. Remote, I think it's fair to say. It's pretty remote now, and I know Farah because I'm interested. I mean, this is one of the places where I want to live when I'm older. I'm already pretty old.
Shetland.
Shetland. I would like to live in Shetland, and here's Farah right there, and this is where we'll be going to this fantastic data visualization conference, which is May the 2nd and
3rd. Yeah.
Book your tickets, book your flights, all that kind of stuff. It should be very cool. Yeah, so maybe we can also, is it okay now to maybe talk about who's going to be
definitely
presenting?
Definitely. Yeah.
I have. So
yeah.
Shall I just do it, or do you want to? I'll just do it. I'll just show.
You can. Yeah, you do it. I will start.
Here's the first one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I started with the main conference, as you told me, talked about, because there was also the plan to start with, but I was thinking, if people coming up here, we might as well do those 2 days. So we'll go for the session first, and then take the.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
So I brought this for Elena. Elena's going to be there, which is awesome.
Yeah. And I know she's going to be happy for coming.
Exactly.
Yeah. And again, it's about UX, it's about design. How do we create stuff? And about picking colors, visualization, and stuff like that. And a lot of it is going to be the same, but different point of view. Because I think two people can have the same subject, but present. Yeah, she's here.
Hey, Elena, thanks for joining.
Presented in a different way, and you can just ask her in the chat. She knows everything about it. And I don't know if she's happy coming up here, but I think so.
She'll be delighted, I'm sure, about it.
Even she's from the dumb south, but I get a code or something like that.
Class. And who else? I'm going to keep bringing them at one. We'll have a little chat and I'm going. So next one from analysts. Actually, I should read them out because some people are going to see this. From analysts to executives, customizing Power BI reports for diverse roles. I apologize if I'm going to completely destroy your name. Agsam Idrisov.
It's better than me, I guess. We all know that we can create a report we want, but it's really nice to understand how to tailor reports for different needs and stuff like that. And it's again the one, but I wanted in Excel.
Yeah,
I think it's great. One thing I should tell now that I did not close those sessions. Everything has been 3 person who has rated them. So that's pretty good. And I used 2 Power BI people, and then one of my clients because I want something different. So that's quite funny. And the worst thing is it was so close. That was like saying, "Oh no, I got 9 sessions," but luckily enough, one kind of said no. So we had it's a no, but we could easily fill up 2 days. But maybe next year again. So
I like that you're already planning for next year. I like that a lot. It's very good.
Hopefully,
we won't hold you to it. Don't worry, but it's nice anyway.
Yeah. Just get some sponsors and stuff like that. So
exactly. So we've got to make the core visuals look like a custom visual by Erik Svensson.
Yeah, Erik is an old guy from Denmark, also a big part of the community, and he's gonna tweak the standard customization, standard visualization, to do some pretty good things. And again, some of the storytelling part, and also how we change a little bit without doing DINAP or SVG or something like that. So
it's very cool. Very nice. Next one, Steve. Bring your data to the age of better visualization. It's age of SVG in Power BI. SVG, very hot right now.
Yeah, you can follow me or him on Twitter. No, he do some amazing stuff in SVG. He do a lot of amazing stuff, but at least it's not something model and stuff like that. But he has some magic around SVG. So I'm looking forward to hearing him. So that's I've got time for it. So that's going to be pretty great.
I personally, I set myself a goal of this year to up my SVG game, which is easy from some extent because my SVG is pretty much at 0. But I want to be able to create some nice stuff from SVG, and there's a lot of cool stuff you can do. So it's a nice one.
Actually, I use Boxy SVG as a drawing tool online, and it's so bloody good because you can make animation and everything, and just copy paste it into the report.
Fair enough, son.
So it's not difficult. Or ask Steve because Yeah, he knows
I
everything.
like this. It's the dawning of the age of SVG. It's
Yeah, we will see about that. Yeah, but it's definitely, if you look at LinkedIn at the moment, it's StinUp or SVG, and also Twitter or X or whatever it's called now. Yeah, it's mostly about that or Fabric. So that's like,
of course,
yeah,
of course, of course.
Yeah.
Where were we? Oh, I've lost my place. Oh no, never mind. I'll keep going. See what happens. Here we go. From visualization to storytelling, create a storytelling experience in Power BI. Martinez, I'm sorry. Justice? Sorry.
Just yeah, we will put a subtitle on. Yeah, again, a kind of storytelling part, which is a big part of our life. Another point of view. What is about him is he is, yeah, hopefully a kind of a finance dude. And normally, my point of view, you got the good guys over here, and then you got the finance guys over here. Not to offend anything,
no,
but
it's
it's
true.
kind of, you have that, and I'm really happy to have somebody who has
that's very interesting.
been in both worlds, because most part is just misunderstanding between parts, and yeah, okay, good. Why do you want that? Okay, you're colorblind, fine. Then let's make a chart with some good colors.
Absolutely,
in it or something like that.
I like this. Maybe ChatGPT can do pronouncing. Yes, I like that. That is the 100%. That's the use case that I need. Okay.
Yeah, that could be pretty good. That could be pretty
fantastic.
good.
And now this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, you can present it yourself. You pretty much know the guy.
Deneb, innit? So basically, do you know this thing, Deneb, the star of data visualization? I call it that because it's kind of like a really bad dad joke, because Deneb being is a star, and I always put that in the presentation, even though no one ever laughs. I'm going to put that in there forever. So basically about, it's Deneb, how you use Deneb, how you can get started with Deneb and create some pretty nice visuals, and where you can practice, and yeah, it should be cool. But I will talk about Deneb.
Yeah, and I definitely like it, because then you both got SVG and the Deneb, and SVG you can make a certain point. I know Steve will say the whole point, but you have some physical problem like having the size of your matrix or whatever. But Deneb gives you some possibilities, like the offset chart and stuff like that. That would be pretty difficult to make in SVG. But especially with the core visuals coming out now, SVG is gonna be so much bigger, but Deneb will still help us. Charticulator and stuff like that was good, but I better like the Deneb. And at some point in 5 or 10 years, I might have time to learn it. But
it was funny actually, because I forgot that it was you. You mentioned before we went live that when we met at Billund, you were sitting next to me at Mark's.
Mark's and
I forgot now. Apologies.
Yeah, some data model guys.
Exactly, and I had him. We were discussing Deneb actually, and sitting on the back row having a bit of chat about Deneb as well. It was pretty funny, and it was the first. It was the first time I'd been out somewhere live, and someone showed interest. And I was like, "All right, pretty cool. I like it."
Actually, I went home, watched your YouTube channel, and started doing some stuff. And then, a client call, and you don't have time for it.
As it is.
Else.
Anyway, on to the next one. What we got? We have that's interesting. The 3 layers of dashboard design by Lonika Obstich. Thank you.
You're half German now. You're Dutch. Yeah, I actually saw her at the Power BI cruise in a 3-hour session, and it was, she knows, she's quite good at this area, and she has done work for some quite big customers, and it was like 3 hours where I actually learned something.
Nice.
In all 3 hours, and that is, when you're all like me, that's kind of not normal. So it was again another way of looking at the storytelling part, and she had some other things. I think she learned me to use drum bells or whatever it's called, and stuff like that, and turning some things around. I really like her session, and this is, it's only going to be a little hour or so.
Nice.
But I think
should be a good one.
Been around,
and I think last one, right? I think we have, of course, not least. I was going to say set and polish, obviously not. Set and polish the scenes of your data story. Anders Mayland Larsen. Nice.
Yeah, and that's Anders. And he just got a new title. I love it. Data Visualization Manager for Pandora.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, I attended his session at Power BI Next Step, and it was pretty good about storytelling. And I talk a lot with him lately. And it's again his point of view from at Pandora, how they're using and what they're using. And I don't know if he's gonna bring up his Star Wars PowerPoint, but
Should do.
yeah,
Hope so.
yeah. So as you see, I think you went through all the session. Wasn't it?
That's the sessions exactly. But there's
Yeah.
more.
So yeah, that's more. But let's go to. So we got a mix
Yeah.
here. We got a lot of storytelling. We got a little some design, and then we got two nerds, you and Steve. So, so I actually think we can go through most of the day. Might only Steve have some DAX, and so you see it's very lightweighted, but it's going to be a lot of discussion and hopefully a lot of thoughts and inspiring people and
Absolutely.
stuff like that.
Yeah. I really do think, I know I'm biased because I mean I always I say myself I'm very accidentally a person who speaks about data visualization because I never used to. It's not until I started to get involved with Deneb and I became more interested and you go on a rabbit hole. But I do find it quite refreshing to have a conference that just sets that as that's what we're going to be talking about, because I don't know, it's sometimes, of course, conferences having whatever they want is a great thing, whether it's about fabric or about whatever, but it's just nice to go somewhere just, it's about data visualization, because sometimes it feels overlooked, sometimes it feels
it definitely does, especially like the last year where we couldn't go inside a door without somebody mentioning fabric. I was like, but we still have a lot of things, because again I said, you can create the best data model, but it doesn't matter if you cannot sell it to management. So that the design phase, and yes, just a few colors, selecting the correct colors, a background, stuff like that, or putting in whatever small SVG can help quite a lot. So and like I said, we have 8 sessions here, and normally I have pretty easy selecting session, but if I should go to this conference and hopefully I can join some of the session, I would have a problem selecting each because I want this, but I want this, and it's like so at that point I think it's a success for me that I like it.
For sure.
So
that's a good one. Is on the website, is there already the not the sessions, sorry, the what's it called, I can't think of the word, the timetable, if you will, the plan?
I have the timetable, and I planning on putting up afterwards. It's made, but it can change depending on when you arrive and stuff like that. And who's a morning person, who's not. But it is. And but hopefully, there will be a session. It's going to be a little bit smaller breaks and stuff like that. But it's like the room is just next door, so it's not like you have to run 5 miles to get there. So it should be no problem.
Fair enough.
So if everything's good, let's go, because as I extended to 2 days, just thinking about everybody who's coming up here. Only 1 day is too small, but having it 2 days. And I don't know, did you have the 2 days?
Yeah, I've got the 2 days. I can open. I'll go for the first one now. I'll share the screen if that's okay.
Yeah, no problem.
So let's see.
Everything here will come up in the end of the web page when I get time for it. So that's it. The first session is I lost it. Oh, what the hell? It's with Valerie Jones.
Exactly.
And I guess it's gonna be actually the one with most DAX.
Yeah, makes sense. Elevating Power BI visualizations, combining data design strategies and DAX. So it'll probably have some DAX in it.
It will, but like I say, copy paste or anything like that, that would be good
nothing wrong
enough.
with a bit of DAX. And also it's nice to see how DAX can be used from a visual perspective as well, rather than all that other
and sometimes it's just a small thing like how to highlight, how to set a color and stuff like that. So
like the dynamic titles, color conditional formatting, adjust labels on the fly, and fine-tune visuals for a cleaner, more focused presentation. Nice. Very cool.
So hopefully I have personally never seen a session. I talked a lot with her, and I know she had done a lot of sessions the last year, but she's kind of her, it's gonna call it rising star or whatever you call it, a new one. So hopefully
nice.
good.
And I guess if anyone has actually just checked my browser, you can see the next one is already there. But what are you going to do? So I did a bad job of hiding that. I'm sorry. But what are you going to do, man?
Yeah.
So
there's a local nerd. Yeah.
this
This gonna be and I was actually, I think it was like the first one I talked to. I won the SVG session because we had quite a lot talk on Twitter, and asking, could you do a full day? And he of course said yes. He was kind of about SVG because I see it as a good way to do small tweaks in a report that can actually increase the design quite well. Christian, I don't know about. Sorry, there's a question. I don't know about. I'm gonna record it. I have not really looked at that, but it might be something we could do. Yes.
Yeah. So cool. It says unlock endless visualization possibilities with SVG, and it should be very cool. And I think actually, I mean, you can talk about like not just like small tweaks, but actually because of these new visualizations, you can create quite impressive. I mean, you got the scroll, you can see here what's going on. You can create pretty impressive stuff there, and it kind of essentially turns the standard visuals essentially into custom visuals in a way. It's quite.
It definitely just having a card with a small chart or a bar chart, a bullet chart is quite helpful. Or just having like, okay, I have this chart, but I both need the amount and a delta below and a percent or something like that. You can do that with SVG, and it's pretty easy making. So I think it's useful. And I would say the 2 full days a little bit nerdy, but again, the session days are not so nerdy. It's more like the talk and stuff like that.
Excellent.
Nice, Steve. He's put on some animation also. Had learned that now. So
exactly. Also, a question here as well. Will the sessions be recorded and posted sometimes later on YouTube? I wish I could have joined live, but can't do it this time.
Yeah, I hope I will look into it.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's more cost for wise. Whatever can break easy, but it could be just putting up a GoPro and let it run all day long. But I will look into it. As I said, I don't know if it's gonna be next year again or anything, but we will see how good it goes. But it could definitely be something that would be nice.
On the only in-person session I've done thus far, when I was in Palma, they asked us to record the sessions, and I couldn't. I had no software on my computer to do so. I was like, okay, I'll just try and record it with like my mobile phone and put my phone there. But the quality was so bad. I was like, there's no point in putting this anywhere because it's
you had to go professional. And I would say I love the sequel bit. I use a lot of the session, even the watchers say, he told something or she told something. Go back, watch the video, and see what it is. Yeah, I will look into it definitely, Christian. But else we have to maybe have this next year. And
keep asking questions like that, and then it's more inspiration to repeat this for next year. Of course, we're focused on this year for 2024. It's going to be an amazing conference.
And, but also we can use this year and then see next year what to tweak.
Exactly.
So should we have like a full workshop in doing mock-ups, or should we have a full day graphic facilitation with our love? And I think that's a tool everybody should learn. And I've actually thought quite a lot about it. Should we do stuff like that, or should we do like longer session, or whatever?
Yeah.
So, but this is the first time, so trial and error, and we'll go from there.
Very cool.
So this, So if there's any sponsor or anything out there, help me.
Exactly. Come and just
direction. Something like that. So
and of course you're interested in going, you got to start booking your flights to get out there, because it's going to be. I've checked, and from Berlin it's actually not so bad. I was like, it's going to take a long time to get there. So actually, like I said to you before we went live, it'll be faster for me to get to Faro than it was when I went to Italy, with all my connecting flights and train tickets and whatnot. It was ridiculous.
We don't have a train up here. It is. They're flying from each day, I think, 2 or 3 times with the local company, Atlantic Airway. They're flying 2 to 3 times from Copenhagen. I think Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from Paris. And Edinburgh is Thursday and Monday.
That's all right.
And Billund and Aalborg is also twice a week, if anybody from Denmark. And Scandinavian Airlines also fly up here. But not to be local, but there's a better chance if you got foggy. Our weather is constraints up here, but the local company normally lands like 99% of the time, where the other companies kind of say, "Oh, we cannot land here."
Okay,
So
that's
yeah,
interesting.
so so use the local ones, and then you can jump over. I think both Charles de Gaulle if you're down south or Copenhagen. So
now I have to ask the question: do you have so much information about the flights because you live there, or because of the conference? Because you just rolled that all off really quickly. I was quite impressed.
yeah, because I live up here.
Fair enough.
But actually, if you wanna try something else, there's a boat going from Hirtshals, Denmark, to up here. But I think I can't remember when it's sailing. I think it's Saturday, and you're up here Monday morning, and then you go back Saturday. I think it's 36 hours sailing. So if you want something different, you can try that.
I mean, if I wanted to spend 36 hours vomiting, I would definitely get on that boat.
I love it. I love it. It's like 36 hours where you only can relax, read a book, draw,
I just
do something. There is internet, but it's not good. Sure. There is, but it's
I would love it. I'm just not good on boats, to be honest. It's very unfortunate. And I understand the irony given my surname being Ferry and all, but no, boats is not my thing. It's not my thing. What are you gonna do? Cool. Nice.
But yeah. No.
What's this? 3 months in a licky boat.
Yeah, why not?
I'm not sure what the split ends mean. I'm sorry, I'm not getting the reference. Sorry, Donald.
Yeah. So the last person we're missing is the keynote. And that was actually the first person. I came back from Denmark after Houston Asger helped me quite a lot with this, and I was like, come back. I came back from one of the conference. I want to have a conference here. So the first thing I wrote to him after a little getting his email and asking, is he come here? So he's actually the first person who was in the conference, and then I started planning. So that's the one person I'm really looking forward to. And in my world, he's the one person who can change Power BI mostly from the science perspective. So I don't know if I guess who it is, but he's from Canada, and he will be arriving here, and he will just do the keynote, but I guess he's going to be here for a couple of days. So and it's Michael Myers. I don't know if you know him. So we got our own guy here.
The guy from Microsoft who's doing the
the core visual
very guy. Cool.
Yeah, I think it was like saying, who else should talk about design except him? And if we are like 80, 90, 100 people here, that's all in design, I must be the best forum for him to talk about it and have his discussion and stuff like that. So both part, we complain to him or show good ideas, and he can also hopefully show some great stuff to us.
Absolutely. That's I would say for this sort of conference on datavis and Power BI, it's pretty much the perfect keynote. I would say so. Well done, mate.
I hope so. Yeah, that's actually Lars Andersen from Denmark Microsoft helped me, and it's a great thing. He just said yes, that's no problem. So it's really good. Cool. So I hope everything. But yeah.
I gotta say, I mean, obviously for the conference, I'm really looking forward to attending, really looking forward to presenting, meeting some cool people. And also, well done for yourself to organizing all this, because it must be a hell of a lot of work. And I know you had people to help you, but anyway, good stuff, mate. Very nice. I'm sure on those couple of days you'll be quite busy and running around trying to sort stuff out, but it'll be worth it for sure.
Yeah, and that's obviously I would like to record the session because I don't think I got time for this. But yeah, it's gonna be I got a lot of help from Houston Asger and some other peoples, and hopefully at the conference people always help, so that's a good thing. But sometimes like there will be some delays in, like, I was hoping on to open for ticket sales tonight, but I hadn't had time to test it yet. So I think on Monday 12 o'clock local time, Faroese time, then you can learn what that is. I'm gonna open for the
Monday 12 o'clock.
Yeah, and I will write out on Twitter, LinkedIn, and write everybody on the mailing list, so you can start buying and see what it is. There's only room for 80 at the moment, 85 I think at the moment. There's some planning with the hotel, So yeah, and I think for the full day it's of like 30 people for each packs for each session. So first come
For
first
sure.
serve. So that's it. So yeah,
Very cool.
but you're always welcome to join.
Absolutely.
So that's really
But
nice. Yeah.
I immediately when it was announced, I was speaking to Imran Haq the other day, and I said, Are you going to this?" And he said that he pretty much straight away booked his flights. So I hope he was telling the truth there, because yeah, it also means, I know it's a really obvious thing to say, but being around and chatting to kind of like-minded people, bordering on cheesy here, but it's true though, right? To kind of sit and like hang out and chat with people, even after the presentations are done.
I think,
Cool.
and especially, I actually think I'm going to check in at the hotel a couple of days,
Yeah.
because I just want to sit in the bar and around and talk with people. A fair warning: it's not cheap living up here. It's not cheap buying stuff. And actually, you cannot buy alcohol in the shop. There is a special shop for that that's open for like 8 to 6, but you can buy the
That's
bar and stuff
interesting.
like
So you
that.
can't just like go to
Yeah,
like an off license and buy some beer or anything.
No, actually, it's called Rosen. It's just behind the
Okay.
hotel, but it's only like 8 to 4 each day. But bring some wine with you.
Actually, I was about to ask. I mean, not that I probably won't, but like, are you allowed to bring alcohol with you, or is there some kind of?
Yeah,
Okay.
of course. I think it's like 1 liter liquor and 3 or 2 liter wine and 6 beers, or 6 liter wine or 24 beers.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but actually, there's a damn good bar here at the
Okay,
hotel. So I've been using too much time there. So yeah, I can only say that Phil and Ragnar, I can't boast about him. So they're pretty good at what they're
excellent.
doing.
Cool.
And I will also, as much as I can, like after the session day will end up, I will be some alcohol there, so no problem with that. But like staying up here, I don't know if it's pretty much switched to Copenhagen and stuff like that, but some places. But eating out can be a little bit expensive.
I mean, I'm going to Fabric February, obviously next month because it's February, and I've been checking prices in Norway, and like, my God,
it's kind of the same.
Yeah.
I think the liquor is a little bit cheaper here,
Okay.
actually. But it's
yeah, it's
But just getting here kind of costly. So
that's true. That's true. But
just stay up here a couple of days.
well, yeah, I mean, I do plan doing that. But I said to my wife already. As soon as my session was accepted, I was like, look, I'm going to Faroe, and I was like, my wife's name is Barbara. I was like, Barbara, admit it, you'll never want to go to Faroe, right? So we're never going to have a family vacation to Faroe. So I'm going to go. I'm going to stay a few extra days. So you'll be okay, right? She said, yeah, it's fine. You take it.
It's actually a great place for kids because it is so friendly and there's so much nature up here. I think the average it's 2.5 kids per family now. So there's a lot of kids up here. So yeah,
cool.
But it can be cool.
Well, there is a dividing line in my family. Okay, me, my wife, and 2 of my kids. And my daughter is like me. If it's cold, she's fine to be outside all day long. With my son and my wife, if it's like colder than like 10 degrees, they're like, it's cold. It's too cold. I'm like,
yeah, it's not getting. Yeah, it's just the same temperature actually up here. Pretty much, it's not changed so much. But you just got the wrong clothes on.
Yeah,
that's the main problem.
I know. I've been saying this for 10 years, man. But it's they don't listen. Of course they don't. but anyway, yeah, and great. Yeah, great. Exactly from Power BI to drinks. Exactly. We
networking is, I think, when you've been in a lot of conference, actually the part I love most is the networking, talking with people, saying, "Oh, do you know I had the problem? Oh, you solved it like that. Okay, that's pretty nice." And then you ended the discussion with 2 or 3 other you never met before, and that's what I really love about.
When I was in Parma, I remember before I left, I was speaking to Kurt Buehler, who does the day of Goldman's, and he was like, "Make sure you go." He said, "If there's a speaker dinner, make sure you go to it." And I was like, "All right." Yeah. And I'll be honest, it was Saturday. So on the Saturday evening, I was absolutely exhausted. I was so tired. But I had Kurt's voice in my head. It's like, make sure you go. So I was like, dragged myself out. And of course, there's food and you're having a drink and people are
Yeah.
talking and you woke up. And I'm so happy that I did, because it was completely worth it. Just that end part, talking about a bit datery, a bit other stuff, a bit about, about each other's lives, what have you. But it really made the event come together at the end. So yeah.
Yeah, I've been sponsoring Power BI Next Step as a small sponsor. That's the first time and the second time, and been enjoying the speaker dinner stuff like that. It's been really cool to see other side of those people you normally see standing up there. So, and also I used it to learn
exactly
how everything should be. So yeah, and I have not had any session outside the first. I have had a lot up here from the user group and a lot of companies. So I'm used to it, but I've never been outside. But it was funny seeing how things work and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And another thing, I would throw out this question. I'm been talking a little bit with Pharaoh about maybe planning a trip on Saturday, saying that if anybody want to go, I can do like a planning saying go bus route around Pharaohs, and you pay a certain amount for it, something like that. Please say if anybody want that, and I will arrange somebody else doing it. I guess so you pay to that, but there could be like a bus full or half a bus, and you could go around because it's not so big up here. In 4 or 5 days, you can pretty much see everything if you want to, or you can just use a couple of days in Tórshavn. That is a beautiful area. There's not much shopping except maybe a few things, but it's just beautiful walking around.
Definitely. I pre-sign up for that. Because I definitely want to see some of the local landscape, what have you. So if it ends with an optional tour of the islands or the whatever of the I'll be there, and
we'll figure something.
Bring my warm coat, my hiking boots,
Definitely, because bring everything. That's the easy part. It can actually be snowy at that point, that in May. So
say it again. Sorry, I didn't misunderstand that.
It can snow.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice. I guess by that point, there's no chance to see anything like Northern Lights. It's too late in the year for that, but so.
Yeah, you can if you're lucky.
Okay.
But the main problem is at that point, you will see that, especially when you're coming from the south, Italy, stuff like that, it's getting dark, maybe 7 8 o'clock. Up here, it's getting it up maybe 11 or 10 or 12 o'clock. It's much longer. At the moment, it's dark, most of the day, but at that point, it's starting to get light. So you see this much lighter in the evening. And that's really nice. And we have 1 day a year. If you go up in the highest hill, the sun doesn't set. So yeah, but in the summertime you have to have curtains because it's not getting dark. So it's something special.
I am so I just think about like places that are cold and dark and light and stuff. So I've been trying to work out where I want to go to after the February conference. I originally was going to go to I forget where I said Tromsø, but it's kind of all booked out and whatnot. So I accidentally discovered Svalbard.
Yeah, that's
north. Very, very north. But there are flights, and it's like I'm going to share my screen again just to see if it's just in case people care what I'm talking about here. And I'd never really. 1 second.
You can go all in and go to Greenland.
I was thinking. So basically, I'm obviously February is here. Faroe is where we're going to go for your conference. And I was thinking about going like here flying, but then I discovered that you can fly directly here. And I was like, oh my God, I want to go there so much. That would be so cool.
It could actually be pretty cool to go to Svalbard. Yeah. I got some of the world's best internet.
The world's best internet? Is it sarcasm? Or?
Yeah, I think something like that. I think it was Ericsson or something like that testing up there, stuff like that. So
no way.
So some documentary about it. It was so bloody good.
Be a nice change from Berlin, I can tell you that. Very cool.
A fair warning to all of you who are coming up here. Lock your roaming on your mobile phone because most telecompanies don't know there's a country up here. So it's like high rate for megabyte. That's kind of surprised people, and also talking sometimes. So check up on that before you go up here, or buy a card. There is a Wi-Fi in the hotel and most cafe and restaurants, so there's no bigger problem. but kind of surprise people that, oh, I downloaded 1 megabyte. That's maybe a euro or two for 1 megabyte, and suddenly user growth. So
I made this mistake a couple of months ago. I was in Zurich, not for very long.
Yeah.
And I'm used to, of course, now within Europe, you have roaming. It's free everywhere, right? But I was forgetting, of course, that's within the EU, and I'm sitting in Switzerland. I'm going through my roaming, and it's like, you've used all of your allowed data. I'm like, what? How is that possible? And of course, that doesn't apply for Switzerland. I was like, oh.
No, it doesn't apply. So yeah, and especially up here, since we are not known of 80% of the world, so it's like, it's a country. How do you work and stuff like that? So yeah,
Love it.
So normally, just a fair warning. It could surprise you.
Fair enough. I consider myself.
But we still got internet. And actually, we don't have 5G yet because of some problems. But our 4G is pretty good up here. So coverage is nice, even on the hills and when you're hiking. You can still talk.
It's something that I've said quite often, that the internet in Germany is hilariously bad. So in Berlin it's okay, but I could be city center Berlin. I can go like Alexanderplatz is like, you got two city centers essentially. But Alexanderplatz, and I can look at my phone and I'm on like edge because there's like no connection. Germany's a joke.
I got the same when I go into Denmark. It's like, I only got 3G here or edge or something like that. That's pretty good up here, and that's a good thing about being a small country. It don't cost so much infrastructure, but that kind of go overkill that when you're standing on a hill, you still got or sailing around.
Oh, man.
If the weather is up to it, the best way to see it up here is actually by boat sailing around.
That makes sense.
But it's difficult to plan because you don't know about the weather and everything else. So so that's it.
That should be amazing. Mate, thank you for sharing all of that information on this.
Thank you for good sharing it.
Of course.
And I will make everything, schedule and speaker list and everything public on the webpage, either tonight or tomorrow. And also, as I said, Monday, 12 o'clock local time, and which is London, I'm going to open for ticket sale.
Excellent.
So stay tuned, and I will make information everything else, unless something gets broken.
Yeah, exactly. Well, as soon as you share, let us know, and we'll share it, retweet it, all that kind of stuff, make it aware.
Yeah, of course.
And hopefully it sells out nice and fast. So, mate, thanks for joining. Everyone in the chat, also thanks for being here, taking part, asking questions, and just generally chatting away with us. It's always makes it much more enjoyable.
Yeah, and actually we had at least 3 of the speakers, so that's
very
really
cool.
Nice.
I really appreciate you showing up.
Yeah.
And cool. Everyone, thank you so much. Jesper, one more time. Thank you very much. Take care. And
thank you for joining.
Bye-bye now.
Yeah, bye-bye.